Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are here to take your sources, sift through the noise, and hand you a distilled version of true insight.
And today we're looking at Sibiu, Romania.
A city that really seems to exist in 3 different time periods all at once.
It's an incredibly rich target for a deep dive. The sources you sent over give us this amazing cross-section. We start with, this perfectly preserved medieval
But then
state.
jump right into world-class modern culture.
And then almost out of nowhere, we land in the middle of a very public institutional meltdown at one of its cultural pillars.
That's the mission today. How does a city like Sibiu, historically Hermannstadt, European capital of culture in 2007, how does it hold on to this centuries-old identity while running cultural operations on a massive scale?
And what happens when the pressure of that just breaks?
Exactly. So where do we start? The foundation, I guess.
You have to. Sibiu's origins are purely practical, almost military. It was settled in the 12th century by German colonists.
The Transylvanian Saxons, they were invited in to sort of defend the borderlands, right?
Yeah, right. And they didn't just settle, they built the powerhouse. Sibiu became this free royal city, the most important trade hub in Transylvania.
Which means it needed protection.
Serious protection. And that's why the old town is still dominated by these huge surviving defensive structures. Walls, bastions, towers.
But the fascinating part, I think, is how they managed that defense. It wasn't some central army.
No, not at all. It was the guilds. The city's dozens of trade guilds, the butchers, the carpenters, the goldsmiths. Each one was assigned a specific tower or a section of the wall to maintain and defend.
So the city's architecture is basically a map of its economy.
It's a physical manifestation of its economic hierarchy, yeah. Those towers are the signatures of medieval power.
Which leads us to the public spaces where all that commerce happened. The grand squares.
You have to start with the PIMR, the large square. It's immense.
The scale is it's wild for a medieval city. It was set up way back in 1366, and it's something like 142 meters long.
Unbelievable. You have to picture it back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a farmer's market. It was the absolute center of everything. Trade, civic meetings.
And public executions.
And public executions, yes. And the buildings around it reinforce that. You've got the Brukenthal Palace, the Jesuit Church. It's all about power and history.
Then you step through an archway and you're in a totally different space.
The Piamica, the smaller square, it's much more intimate, more human scale.
With those arcaded houses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And its purpose was different. This was where the actual work happened. The smaller merchants, the craftsmen, their workshops were all here.
And linking the two is the council tower.
Which is this incredible architectural multitasker. It's been a gate, an observation point, a prison.
A fire watchtower, I think I read.
It's done it all. But speaking of architecture, we have to talk about the aha moment in Sibiu. The thing everyone notices.
The eyes.
The eyes. The roofs. These rows of small windows that look like they're watching you.
They really do. It feels like the city itself is sentient. But the reason they exist is so practical.
Totally mundane. They date from the 15th to the 19th centuries, and they were built for light and ventilation.
For the attics, right, where they stored grain and food.
Exactly. You needed airflow to stop everything from spoiling. And in solving that problem, they accidentally gave the city its most unforgettable feature.
Okay, from the practical to the highly symbolic. The Sibiu Lutheran Cathedral.
A massive Gothic structure. The tower is over 73 meters tall.
But it's the little details on the tower that matter.
It's the 4 small corner turrets on the spire. That wasn't just decoration. In medieval times, that was a signal.
What does it signal?
It told everyone that the city's judge had the right to sentence people to death. It was a grim, very clear symbol of judicial authority.
Wow. And then inside the cathedral, you're literally walking on top of history.
You are. There are 67 tombstones set into the floor, and one of them, well, it belongs to Menia the Evil.
Son of Vlad the Impaler.
The son of the historical Dracula, yes. And he was apparently just as cruel as his father.
And he was killed right outside the church, wasn't he?
Assassinated right after Mass in 1510. That kind of high-stakes drama is buried right under your feet as you walk in.
Okay, on a slightly lighter note, the Bridge of Lies.
Every good city needs a legend. It was Romania's first cast iron bridge from 1859.
Then the story goes.
The story goes that if you stand on it and tell a lie, the bridge will shake and creak, and maybe even collapse.
A very nice piece of local folklore, which is a good bridge, literally, to our next topic.
How Sibiu preserves its culture on an industrial scale.
We have to start with the Astray National Museum complex.
And the key thing to get is that Astray isn't just one museum, it's a whole system. 4 museums under one banner, all focused on ethnology and civilization.
And the main attraction is the Museum of Traditional Folk Civilization.
Which isn't a museum so much as a reconstructed world. It's one of the biggest open-air museums in Europe.
It's huge, 96 hectares in the Dumbrava Forest. That's almost a square kilometer.
With over 300 traditional houses, workshops, churches, all moved there piece by piece from all over Romania.
The goal isn't just to show you old tools, it's to show you how people lived.
Exactly. It's organized by theme food production, transport, public buildings. They have windmills from Dobruja, a small working mine from the Apuseni Mountains. It's incredibly immersive.
And it's a living place, too. They have huge annual events.
Like the Folk Craftsman's Fair around August 15th. It started back in '83, but since 2007, the Capital of Culture year, it's become a huge international event.
There's another piece to this complex, though, that's kind of surprising.
The Franz Binder Museum of Universal Ethnography. It's the only museum in Romania focused on non-European ethnology.
So right next to 18th century Saxon farmhouses.
You have artifacts from all over the world, the most famous one being an ancient Egyptian mummy that was donated back in 1907.
That is an amazing juxtaposition. Okay, so if S-Row is about preserving the past, the Sibiu International Theater Festival, or FITS, is all about the global present.
This is maybe the single biggest driver of Sibiu's modern reputation. FITS is massive.
It's ranked as one of the most important performing arts festivals in the world, right?
It's in the top 3, right up there with Avignon and Edinburgh. For a city of Sibiu's size, that's just a colossal achievement.
And the numbers are wild. It's a 10-day event in June. Guests from something like 73 countries, around 550 different events.
It takes over the entire city. You've got theater, dance, circus, musicals, hundreds of street performances. It's an incredible logistical feat.
And they have their own Walk of Fame.
They do.
Yeah.
Honoring people like Peter Brook, Tim Robbins, Robert Wilson. FITS is one of the main reasons they got the Capital of Culture title in the first place.
Okay, so we have this city built on solid Saxon stone, and on top of that, it's running this global cultural machine.
A machine that requires, immense, modern, complex administration.
Which brings us to the conflict, the most contemporary and contentious part of the sources. What's happening at the Sibiu State Philharmonic?
This is the flip side of that cultural excellence. When the stakes are this high, the internal fights can get really ugly. And what we're seeing is a very public protest by the musicians' union against the manager, Christian Lupe.
He was appointed in 2019, and the union's claim basically boils down to what? That he's an abusive, dictatorial manager.
A dictatorial, abusive management style is the quote. They say he's focused on his own personal image, creating a toxic workplace.
And they have some pretty specific claims to back that up.
Very specific. They allege the orchestra has been decimated by 20% since he arrived because of abusive and illegal dismissals.
And here's the kicker.
The employees have taken the institution to court over 70 times, and they've won 99% of those cases.
99%? That's not a simple HR dispute. That points to a systemic problem.
A huge one. It's costing them. The Sibiu Court of Accounts stepped in and noted the Philharmonic failed to budget for all this litigation, a liability of over 1.5 million eke. They're racking up debt, fighting their own staff.
And beyond the harassment claims, the most damaging accusation is about his credentials.